Hello, everybody. We are live once again. It is Friday, November 18th, and we are here again with our friends Ben NFTs and JBKMB. And we are going to introduce them now to the show, and we will talk about the latest NBA TopShot and some NBA hot takes. Hold on. I have this echoing in the other tab. We're going to get rid of that. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring on our buddies Ben and Jay. So that was a little Kawhi laugh in honor of Kawhi. He's back. He's playing basketball again. We're happy to see that.
Tandy, I got to be honest. That was the roughest intro you've done yet.
Yeah. You know what happened? I had the tab open on the other thing, and then all of a sudden I started hearing myself talk, and that was
I'm a little upset. Like, I think Jay and I should each get personalized intros, and then we can make like pithy comments. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I did have I know I had one for Jay. And Ben, did I have one for you in the past? I don't remember.
I mean, you should.
I should. I mean, this one could be Ben.
King in the castle, king in the castle.
And then, the one I like for Jay is this one.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
That's wrong. That's wrong, but it's true. It's true.
That pretty much covers it.
What's up, Tandy?
I'm just hanging, man. I'm hanging. TopShot loves Ben's hoodie. There you go, Ben.
All right, we're starting off the stream with a compliment before I piss everybody off, because I got some hot takes, Tandy.
All right. Well, you can. I gotta fix my Wi-Fi here. So why don't you start talking? I might drop for a second, but go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, wait, we don't need you. We're good.
I'll talk to Jay. Jay, can you believe there's some fucking morons out there that are calling Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a top 5 NBA player? I mean, you got to be fucking stupid. Stupid. I saw that on Twitter. Top 5.
It's a little too soon to say top 5.
It's too soon to say top 5. I mean,
top 12.
Yeah, but think about this for a second, Jay. It's been a month.
Yeah,
it's been a month.
People react very quickly to things, and then 5 minutes later, something else happens, and they'll be on a whole other.
I mean, this is nothing against Shai. He's a fantastic player. Top 5 potential, top 10 potential. Yeah, sure, but just do it for more than a month. Do it for give me a season.
I think performance-wise, what he's done so far this season, you have to say he's in the conversation for MVP. Whether that means he's a top 5 player based on talent, based on skill set. But based on performance, he has to be top 5 MVP.
Right. Hot potential right now, sure. Yeah, but we're talking about top 5 players in the NBA. I want to see a healthy season from him. Sure. When is the last time we got a healthy season? And I want to see consistency, because what makes a superstar is that you can do it night in and night out, not for a month, not for 6 weeks, all season. And then my next question is, if you're saying top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5, top 10, who are you kicking out?
Well, you know who's top 1?
Who's top 1?
Jason Tatum.
Oh, Celtics fans.
No, not even close. I mean,
no, you go look at the NBA accounts on Twitter. That's not just me.
No, Giannis is number 1. Until somebody unseats Giannis, he's the most dominant player in the league.
Well, we'll find out come playoff time, right? Come playoff time. That's the great thing about basketball. We'll find out.
That's the great thing.
My Golden State Warriors starting lineup is still the best 5-man unit in the NBA.
Based on some data, right?
But Ben,
what else do we have?
Well, no, I'm saying if you cherry pick the right data, it can.
No, it's plus minus. Plus minus.
Whatever.
What do you mean it's plus minus?
How do you take that information though, and then still have a team that is 0-8 on the road? How do those two things live in the same?
Because basketball is more than a 5-person sport, and they can't play all 48 minutes. Their bench is fucking terrible.
Basketball is a 6-on-6 sport, right?
Say it again, Jay.
It's a 6-on-6 sport, right? You know that.
Of course.
Jay. We only have 5 players. We don't have 6.
5? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Anyway. Anyhow, yeah.
Did we start out hot enough? I'm still crowning the Warriors. And second, Shai's not top 5.
Shai Gilgeous. You don't think he's top 5? So
did you miss that whole thing?
Yeah, I dropped off. But
I know you fucking Wi-Fi back together.
I know you were talking about that though. I know you wanted to talk about how Shai is overrated.
Do you live? I don't think he's over. Well, do you live with Borat? Is that why you live with Borat?
Sorry.
Do I live with Borat?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. What is this?
Yeah.
You live in Kazakhstan?
King in the castle, king in the castle.
I do. Don't make me get that Borat mustache on again because I'll do it. Don't tempt
You should. Don't threaten us with a good time.
Not this early in the show. I feel like we have to get a certain cadence before we start doing all the bells and whistles and stuff.
All right, that's fair enough. Anyway, we got some people in the chat, so let's say hello to them. We got TopShot Hotshot, who loves Ben's hoodie. We already know that. We got Ryan Zayek, who is Canadian. We got Matt Roth, who says Shai needs to carry his team to the playoffs.
Max.
Of course.
PPE is here on time. Hello, PPE. And who else we got right now? We got SFC Legends, and we got Buddha Vane. So
what's up with this Sup Ninjas? What the fuck? Hey,
I don't know. I'm white. I couldn't tell you.
Poker Pro Eric, me and PPE found ourselves in a private room.
Like a strip club.
Private room
last night. In the Evaluate Market trading product. Okay. We were about to trade some trade tickets, and then he just fucking disappeared, man.
Wait, did he take you to the back room, or did you take him?
He actually, I got a notification on my account that PPE wanted to see me in a private room.
Okay, interesting.
And I was in the middle. I was in a private room with somebody else.
Ooh,
okay.
Wow, sounds very kinky.
Yeah. But then when I finished,
yes,
I pushed the button, and I was like, all right, PP, let's get in a private room together. I kind of wanted to see what would happen. It started out fine, and then he just ghosted me.
There's a term for that, Jay.
What is it?
In like fantasy sports or any kind of like dealings, we call that rabbits. They stick their head out of the hole, and as soon as somebody comes, they run back in. You know,
that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to
won't take it personally.
No,
I did finish. I always finish.
It's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on him. He didn't have the balls to complete the transaction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, anyway, I do. You could tell us more about that, Jay, because that does sound interesting. We have a few more people though who need to get some shout outs. We got Boston-based Twitter legend. We have Noam is here. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, my friend.
Shabbat shalom. That's right. That's true. Maybe we should start doing the Shabbat stream.
I don't know, Tandy. I don't know if that's in vogue right now, my friend.
We'll just break out the challah bread and the sweet wine.
I think I know somebody who knows someone who knows Kyrie. Maybe he could be one of our first guests.
When is the last time you guys honestly did Shabbat, though?
It's been many years. Jay? But I will tell you, though, I'm not a very practicing Jew. However, that was one of my favorite traditions because I just think that it's such a nice tradition to bring the family together, maybe even put the cell phone down for an hour and just sit and have something that kind of forces you all together. I've always liked that, but I don't.
I did one either a year ago or 2 years ago here in Atlanta. One of the local temples did this really dope event. It was like a 2-day event, and we went to it and we met the guy who runs the temple. I forget what you call that guy.
Rabbi?
Right. I think the rabbi. It's been a while. And his daughters were there, and one of his daughters.
Talk about forbidden fruit.
I know, and it got a little messy, but that's another story for another day. But it was great.
I think it probably ended like this for Jay.
I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
These are the best, Danny. Keep them coming.
I don't even know what that means, but
keep them coming, brother.
Oh my God, I'm gonna. All right, so we got Poker Pro Eric is telling you what happened, what went down in the champagne room. He had to leave. He was watching the Kings, who are really playing quite well early in the season, but what have you done for me lately in the playoffs, Kings? I mean,
but who did they beat last night, though, Tandy?
Who was it? The Harlem Globetrotters?
No, I'm asking you. No, who did they beat last night?
I think didn't they have a nice win? Was it?
No, it was a piece of shit team.
Oh, was it? I don't even know. Let me go check.
Any NBA win is a good win. Come on.
It was the Spurs.
Still, a win's a win.
That's true. But they beat Ketia Bates Diop. And
but are we forgetting that they scored 153 points versus the Nets?
People want to know who did the Kings beat on Sunday?
Yeah, the Warriors.
They beat the Warriors. They beat the Lakers. Big whoop. But they beat the Nets and scored 153 points.
Hey, you know what? I love to shit on the Kings, but they deserve a lot of credit this year. Clearly, Mike Brown has taken the Warriors, shine to them, but they're doing great this year. Good job.
Some ballers. They got some real ballers.
Hold on. What's TopShot Hotshot saying? Face to face. Oh, okay. You're talking about Shabbat. Noam is violating Shabbat for the show. Thank you, Noam. I appreciate that.
Oh, wow. What does that look like to violate Shabbat? Where do you violate it?
What did you do with the rabbi's daughters? Remember that?
There was one.
Jump Shoot says
too young.
The Kings don't want Wemby. I'm so curious, by the way. It just seems like Wemby's such a sure thing. Do you think that Wemby is he as sure of a thing as LeBron?
No.
What would you compare him to then? Is he like on Bol level, or is he like?
No, he's more talented than Bol, obviously.
I would say a better comparison for him is Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way more talented, way more mobile. Porzingis.
Yeah, but don't forget. Don't forget when Porzingis was first coming out, people were comparing him to a combination between KG and LeBron. Like the hype on Porzingis was huge. You know, not Wemby level, but he was a very legit prospect.
Yeah. You know what's an interesting stat about Clay? His 3-point shooting percentage is lower than Russell Westbrook.
Do
you know that?
I mean, you just told me he's been playing horrible. I'll ride or die with Clay until I die.
You have to. He's done so much for that franchise. You stick it out.
And we'll give him the whole season to come back, and
he's coming back from 2 very, very serious injuries. That shit is no joke.
I know, of course.
It just is what it is, man. It is what it is, and you got to hope for the best. But like I said, that 5-man unit that he's in is still the best in the NBA, plus minus.
It is what it is. And Steph, is he getting better? Like, I think in a lot of ways, Steph Curry is becoming a better basketball player.
Yeah.
So,
So look, Boudevin has been looking at tickets. It looks like he's trying to see Wemby in Paris. He can't get tickets. I didn't know the French were such hoop fans.
Boudevin, are you Dutch? My best friend growing up was Dutch.
He is
I know some Dutch, my friend.
Do you want to speak Dutch to Boudevin?
Well, you say "hoi" is hi.
Okay.
You can say "tot ziens" is bye.
Okay.
And I know some swear words, I think.
Give us one.
Well, they were German too. So I had I'm trying to remember the difference between the German swear words and the Dutch swear words they taught me.
Well, just give us anything. We won't know the difference.
We can talk about how to make, do you make toasties, Boudevin? Hoi. See, it just hoid me.
He hoid you. My parents are Afrikaans. They speak Afrikaans. They're South African. So I know some swear words in Afrikaans, which is very similar to Dutch.
Gotcha.
So one that I like to say is "gaan kakken in die bos," which means go shit in the bush.
Okay. I did that a couple days ago.
So there you go. It's good to have this in your back pocket whenever you need it.
Yeah.
PPE saying the best.
Stroop waffles. Those are hella good, man. Stroop waffles are hella good. Sorry, go ahead, Tandy.
Yeah. Best 5-man unit is Smart, White, Brown, Tatum, and Horford. Is that like official?
No, it's not. They're not even top 3 according to plus minus.
Yeah,
it's actually Kings
top 5 though.
Kings are number 3, to be honest. Kings are number 3. Dallas is number 2.
And this is a good point too. But that Boston base is making is that like Wemby's playing versus a bunch of children.
Yeah, but sometimes LeBron was playing against children. All these top stars are playing against children. So
yeah.
I think we have a pretty good idea. This dude's legit.
Yeah, I think so. So PP says he's going to send me a screenshot.
No, you can send it to Jay in your private room.
Yeah,
that you guys go
in the champagne room.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we have some different things we could cover today, or we could just keep on talking about random NBA topics. What do we want to do? Do you want to start?
I can start waxing poetic about Top Shot, about things that I'm seeing. On my Twitter timeline.
Can we simp? Can we start simping?
You want to simp first?
I want to simp first.
Okay,
Ben,
I'll simp first.
Simp for me, Ben.
Okay, so some really cool things about Top Shot is, first of all, the art this year is the best it's ever been.
Okay.
Right? Every time I see a moment, the play selection, curation, whatever you want to call it, it's the best it's ever been. Right?
Shout out Austin.
Yeah, so they are getting better and better and better and better in that respect. The FOMO is still real, right? So when they post that, like a pack is coming or this is coming or their throwdowns coming, I'm still like, God, like Thanksgiving week, I'm like, God damn, I want this stuff. That is still very present. Jay, you want to simp a little?
No. Maybe on other topics, but
Tandy, you can simp.
Oh, I actually
this is simp only.
No,
yeah, Jay, you're not gonna simp? You're not gonna simp for us?
Am I gonna simp? No, not on this topic. No, not on this topic.
Which topic? This is Top Shot General. You don't want to simp?
There's nothing to say. Top Shot General. He's talking about the artwork and the product. So, but if we're going to talk about the product, the only thing that comes into my brain that I have to respond with is we're 4 seasons in and we still don't have appropriate audio on the moments.
That's not simp.
I'm saying I can't simp on this topic. What the fuck part of this don't you understand?
You can't find one good thing about Top Shot?
The product?
About anything.
There's plenty of good things about TopShot, but about the product, I don't.
Okay, so you have something out. You have something in your ass. You have to get out. Basically.
Yes, okay. I don't think the product has evolved commensurately with where it should have, given the cash infusion that they've had over the course of the years. I think if these moments are supposed to capture moments in time within the proper context, Tandy, why are you putting bullshit up on the screen while I'm trying to track my thoughts?
Because it's
what the fuck does one have to do with the other?
It's fun. This is hard mode.
All right, let's just talk about nonsense. We love RSVP queues.
It's so hard for you to simp. Come on,
about the product.
Anything TopShot related.
All right, I saw Sean posted a really cool video today. What channel was it on? Was it on Facebook or Instagram or I don't even know. The Knicks one. TikTok. Yeah, the Knicks one. I thought that was dope. I thought I forget the exact messaging, but it was something along the lines of, tap into Knicks history, and they're leaning into some of the Knicks run it back moments and kind of replaying them in their moment form, and advertising something like that to Knicks fans who, maybe they've never heard of TopShot. They don't know what NFTs are. They're not interested in Web3. They have, no idea what digital collectibles are. They're not part of this universe of ours, but they see a really cool piece of content that brings them back and kind of engages visceral memories about some of their favorite players in Knicks franchise history. I just thought it was packaged really well. And I think that kind of storytelling has been absent from the product, right? Like we haven't done or seen any of that. So I like that. I think that's a really good way to showcase what's special about this platform to people who otherwise wouldn't be interested in it, but they're fans of the subject matter. I think it'll get people to lean in. So I thought that was pretty dope.
Tandy, simp for us, brother.
So I would simp on very much the same page as Ben. I think that the selection, curation, artwork has been really, really good. I like the way that these hot packs are similar prices to the previous standard packs, only $1 more, but you can rip rares and that kind of a deal. I think that's really nice. And I do think that these tapped in, like the Klay Thompson tapped in and similar events that are happening with like a little bit of a beat right now, like we're seeing a few of these happen in a row. So the more that we can see that, I think is good. I did see that post by Path Grip that you commented on, but for some reason I couldn't click through, Jay. So is that just like an ad that just shows a TopShot moment and it's just like, hey, you want to collect a Knicks digital memorabilia?
No, it's just a really well done video that kind of brings you to these places in time throughout Knicks fandom, using some of the run it back moments as a way to tell the story.
Am I the only one that when I hear tapped, I think fuck?
No,
is this me? Okay,
no.
Tapped in, I keep thinking, are we fucking? Like, what's
it? Probably.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think happens after you cook with Cade?
Okay, so the Klay Thompson tapped in.
What do you think Klay does when he's not playing basketball?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a real ladies' man, I heard.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Plenty of
anyway,
stuff out there.
I digress. Let's continue. I just,
Okay, so about the tapped in stuff, I think it's a great program. Like I've been public many times promoting it and talking about how much I love it. I do think it's silly from the outside looking in if you're a new user and you start paying attention to some of these tapped in experiences and you see like the same 2 or 3 people winning them all. I do think everybody would benefit. And even Alex has kind of said, it should be more of a weighted kind of scoring system. Everybody should have a shot. You want the people on the bottom to feel like they have a chance to experience these things. The people at the top have a greater opportunity to experience it. Also, it probably makes no sense to not let the VIPs feel like they have a shot at some of these unless they're number 1, 2, or 3 on the leaderboards. So I would make the whole thing more of a lottery as opposed to just automatically awarding 1, 2, and 3. But I don't know. I think the overall program is a win. However, the other caveat is I think they need to do a much better job packaging the experience and promoting it through content with heavy paid support behind it. Because if these amazing experiences happen and 5 or 10 people go and they advertise it to 3,000 or 5,000 TopShot users on Twitter and nobody else knows that it's fucking happening, then it's a big waste of money and a huge wasted opportunity that, in theory, you should be putting enough paid support behind it that millions of basketball fans, whether they know what TopShot is or not, they're they're consuming these videos and like, oh shit, so I can, buy into this product and maybe.
Okay, but can I ask you guys a question about digital marketing?
Yeah.
Because every fucking time I get an ad on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, I'm swiping right away. Like, I don't care what it is. I rarely watch these ads. So all this Knicks thing that I watched
it can't be an ad.
Huh?
That's the thing. It can't feel like an ad. When I watched what TopShot posted today, it didn't feel like an ad.
It didn't, but I'm just saying, because I'm a basketball fan, TopShot, it doesn't even if it's something I'm interested in, I rarely fucking watch ads. Am I the only person, or are you guys swiping too?
Yeah, but you're an old cranky man. I mean, I also do the same thing, but I think that
we're both old cranky men. So you're saying the younger generation, they watch these ads?
It's possible, but I think that there's also better ads out there that don't feel like ads.
That's it. It can't feel like an ad. It just has to feel like a cool piece of content. Now that it's sponsored. You know that there's paid money behind it.
Do you watch the ads, Jay?
I've watched many pieces of sponsored content, not necessarily from TopShot, but just in life as I'm browsing different social media platforms.
You stop.
If there's a cool piece of content. Oh, 100%.
Is that because you're in the industry, or do you think you are more?
I love content. I want to be immersed in really good storytelling about subject matter that I'm passionate about. If you're a Knicks fan and you see a piece of content that taps into Knicks history, you're going to check it out. Why wouldn't you check it out? The fuck? The thing is, when we were out in Vegas, Chewy said something about wanting to play with my balls.
And then you went to the private room.
Was it tapped in?
No, he wanted to tap in.
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
Dude, I may be in. Is anybody else in here in Strength in Moments? I mean, I'm in the wrong team. Okay. Dude, maybe I'm in the wrong team Discord, or I'm just going to really quick pontificate on team Discords. If I get tickets to an NBA game, I don't want to fucking sit in the nosebleeds. And I'm seeing these comments. I just won Bulls tickets to a suite. That's awesome. So maybe I'm in the wrong team Discord. That's what I'm looking for, number one. And then number two, and this is just me, and now, but I think it has to be catered towards a lot of different fans. I don't want to play games. Like, I don't want to do shit to get.
Or don't want to play games.
I don't. I've already spent a ton of fucking money on TopShot.
Yeah.
So just because of that, I want to be entered to win shit. I don't want to guess shit. That's not fun for me. How the fuck do I know who's going to score what the score is going to be in the third quarter? You know what I mean? So this might just be a criticism of Strength in Moments, or maybe all the team Discords are like this. Just let me press a fucking button, and because of my collection, I'm a team member, I get the same utility.
So first of all, Strength in Moments does a bunch of dope shit, and they have really cool flash challenges. So you're cherry picking certain things that you don't like, but if I look at all the team Discord communities, that's
my experience.
Top 5, top 10. They're a great community. But what I would say more broadly speaking is the gamification around TopShot is putrid. It is so uninspired. It is so unoriginal. It caters to the lowest common denominator, people who stare at their Discord all day, every day, and are just there to click buttons, make random guesses about things. I mean, even the NLL, obviously, you're wearing the hoodie. I recently gave my hoodie away as part of a donation that I think was great. But, when you talk about what the NLL does, I think they even got funded to do this new game. And no disrespect, everybody there is volunteers. Everybody at the captain program is volunteers, but it's a guessing game. You guess who's going to score the most points on Thursday, and you're doing it on
didn't I just say the same thing about Strength in Moments?
No, I know. So what I'm saying to you is that level of gamification is bad. It's horrible. Yeah. Strength in Moments does a bunch of other things that I really am a fan of, but that level of gamification I think is horrible. I think it's bad for the platform. I think it dilutes everything. I think it makes it feel like a Pokemon platform that's kind of for kids. And no grown adult is going to want to sit in front of Discord all day and play those kinds of silly
Some
games.
people do though.
Well, I said no grown adult.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got you now.
Yeah.
Agreed that if you have already spent a bunch of cash, you're already in those groups, you should just click a button. You just want to be a monkey and press a button. You don't want to
not even have to click a button. I think what Ben is saying is you've already bought into it. You've already collected. You've already done the action. That should then trigger a chain reaction, right?
That's
that
fair.
Should automatically entitle you to certain things, certain experiences based on whatever the criteria are. But don't make me feel like I'm 7 years old and I need to have little games in my hands to constantly do silly little things. It dilutes the experience, I think, for most people.
I think you're right. I think it's because there's this idea that people join these communities and really enjoy being part of the community. And that's almost the value right there, interacting and playing games and And I think that some of these discords probably want to go in that direction. That's what I would imagine. So here's a comment from Weisberg that uses a lot of like acronyms. For what it's worth, we just did a WP with SIM. Anyone got any guesses?
WP. Wet. Do you think it's wet?
Well, I think there is a WAP that I'm familiar with.
I'm just thinking he just made a typo and left out the A.
Okay, so we just did a
sounds fascinating. I think all three of us would opt into that.
So we just did a wet P word.
It's the tapped in experience that Ben was talking about. I don't know.
I'll be tapped in, baby.
With SIM. Oh no, strengthened moments. All right. So he's getting upset with me. He's saying it's watch playback.
Oh, what does that mean, watch playback? What does that mean?
They just did a wop with the strengthened moments and the Valley team captains that had a free giveaway, including S1 TST. So I suppose if you were in there watching.
Honestly, this is a microcosm of what the fuck is wrong with top. Like, if anybody on the outside world saw this right now, they're like, oh, so I should buy these digital collectibles so that I could do a WP with SIM and the Valley team captains with a free giveaway. What the fuck?
What is a watch playback?
I don't know.
Oh, so a watch playback is actually pretty neato, actually, Ben. A watch playback is basically you log in with your cable provider, and then you basically have a live stream that you get to watch the game, and then you have people that are commenting during the game, and then you can you can make their voices louder or soft, and if you want to hear the announcers instead,
Jay,
you're
take that look off your face, Jay. Go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
I don't know what just happened. I think your internet crapped out. But basically, you can watch with people at the same time and watch a game.
Will we be able to see my cable browsing history?
No, they will not be able to see what you've been purchasing after 12 a.m. at night.
I don't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want cable anymore.
I don't have cable.
I don't want cable, so I'm with you.
So how are we going to do this?
Well, you don't actually. So how do you watch games then? How do you watch basketball games?
I got the subscription on my computer.
Right, so you can use League Pass. You can also do League Pass. Right. So that way you can watch the game while Chewy talks about playing with your balls and during the Kings game, and and then you had a little too much of Chewy, you can mute him, and you got the whole the chat on the right side. So it's actually pretty cool. I've only been able to do it for
So it's basically watching games with your buddies.
Yeah, it's watching games with your buddies, but I think it's actually kind of cool. Okay. I do like it. I got to say.
Let's do a TopShot Tandy stream where we all do it together. How about that? Yeah. Does that sound fun?
No.
Is that not what we're currently doing?
No, but we do watch playback.
And watch a game.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun. I mean, if games were not at 1 a.m. for me, I would let's do a Sunday game.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I'll make myself available probably.
Let's do that, Jay.
Okay. Let's do that. All right, so let's talk about some other things. Do you want to talk about the Great Burn? 2.5 million moments. But if you look at the market cap, if we're going to get not in simp mode, if we're going to get in critic mode, it doesn't make much of a difference. And I wouldn't have expected it to make much of a difference. It's more of a sentiment thing. Hopefully
showing of goodwill.
In the right direction. But what do you guys think about that burn event?
Listen, I think it's a complex topic. These were not moments in circulation, right? So it wasn't going to affect the market unless it affected sentiment. Obviously, it wasn't enough to affect sentiment because since they did that, the sentiment continues to decline, market cap, moment values continue to decline. I think it's a nice gesture. Obviously, I think a lot of people, including myself, feel like they didn't go far enough. We wanted them to burn all unreleased moments. What's the logic for burning some unreleased moments and not other unreleased moments? I think that would have been a much bigger kind of shot of adrenaline for the market, especially those Series 1 TopShot debut moments that they've held on to for a very long time. I think it would have been dope, if they burned it all. I think it would have been dope if they burned Roham's account. I think it would have been dope if they burned, everything in the account of all of the executives, who've been or who did, early on compile and hoard a lot of, top stuff. And now it's just kind of sitting there and nobody knows what's happening with it. think it would have been great if they burned the ultimate moments, right? Because I think that's been weighing on the minds of especially the VIP collectors. They don't know if they should invest in the legendary stuff from Series 1, because what if ultimate moments then follow and cause all the stuff that they bought to crash. So it's like a lot of things, man. I think it was a nice gesture. It didn't go far enough. It's better than nothing. It's not really going to affect the market. Platinum Ice, jump shoot. So yeah, that's my take. Ben, what do you think?
I just think that if you ask the majority of collectors, because nowadays the people that are left, I would say 90% have some sort of criticism for the platform. 10% are just going to simp no matter what. Now it's 90%. Back when we started complaining, Jay, we were the 10% that were complaining and the 90% were simps.
Yep.
Now, of course, I was called all sorts of untoward things. I still am to this day, but it's just funny to see that role reversal, which I've brought up before and I'll continue to bring up because fuck you all. How about that? Okay, so but going back to my point, okay, which is, so if you ask these collectors that are critics, okay, what would you like to see to restore confidence in the TopShot platform? This burning of 2 million moments or whatever it was is either just one small thing on the list, or it's at the very, like in the middle of the list. So they need to do so much more. And they needed to do it so long ago, right? So it's just kind of like it barely moves the needle for me. Great, you should have done this a year ago and you have so much more work to do. And I think the community feels that way. So when they see it, it's like, it's nice. It shows that you listen, but we've been saying it for a year, but it just doesn't move the needle for me. And if you ask the community, what would make you feel confident in TopShot again? The list would be at least 10 items long.
Yeah. I do. If they're not going to burn the other S1 TSDs, then I'd love it if they very quickly would tell us what's happening with them. Like, oh, we're doing our last locker room pack. Or did they?
They agreed to it. They said it's all going to end up in the locker room recently.
But I'd love to get it over with.
There's a larger point about TopShot here that is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. Okay, They don't know what they're doing. Okay, so you have to like financially. Okay, so on the financial side, right? So you have to separate out finance from collectability, right? I know that's a really buzzy topic these days, but you got to separate finance. So I keep seeing,
Oops, sorry, I don't know.
I keep seeing. Yeah, on my timeline, can you believe this moment is this cheap? Or I keep seeing like a brand new moment. Oh, Nikola Jokic's triple-double. It has X, Y, and Z related to it. Can you believe it's only $27? And I keep seeing that over and over. Yes, I can believe it's that cheap. Yes, I can believe everything financially related to TopShot is hitting the shitter. And if you don't know that by now, you're in serious fucking trouble. Everybody does know it, but they're not accepting it. So here's what you need to do, in my opinion, to have a clear mind going forward about TopShot. Financially, you will get wrecked, at least in the short term, right? So if you're going to want to enjoy TopShot and have fun with TopShot, you just collect. Buy things that you think are cool and are going to make you happy. But stop with the finances in TopShot because it's a fucking pit. And really, if they're going to do something that is going to make you financially salvageable on the platform, they need to take extreme measures, and nothing that they've done in their past shows that they're willing to do that.
What kind of extreme measures are you thinking?
Well, first of all, the main part about supply is circulation. Jay touched on it, right? Jay
touches a lot of things, but yeah, go ahead.
He does, especially in the private Discord.
Exactly.
Pro Eric. But it's circulation, right? So all those moments you see in the marketplace, we always talk about there's 32 LeBrons and there's this and there's that. That's got to be reduced so much. So, for example, if Series 4, was the first series, right? There was nothing else. And all of a sudden, this Throwdown Series 3 tweet comes out. You see all these moments. It would be very exciting because you'd say to her, wow, the first of this, or, this moment, they don't have any other rares, or this is a special moment. That's part of it because there's so much supply. The other part is they need to fundamentally change. We talked about this last time I was on, what they produce. I don't just want to see like a random dunk. I want it to be impactful. I want it to be memories and moments of the NBA season. So, but it'd have to be to answer your question, a severe reduction of supply. I want to be able not to get the thing that I want.
Yeah, I 100%. I don't like the fact that people can buy 15 packs. I think that's just sends exactly the wrong message.
Can I disagree?
You think people should be able to buy 15 packs?
I don't think that part matters, to be honest with you. Here's the part that I disagree about. At the levels that matter most, there is still relative scarcity in the product. If you think about literally for the legendary tier, 99 moments, right? 99. No, hear me out. The problem
I didn't say anything.
You're making weird fucking faces.
Okay, here we go.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't think supply in the current sense is the problem. I think the game is the problem. And what has happened is when people joined, of course, people got wrecked in buying into Series 2. A big part of the reason was the game, right? They told people the way collector score works is, you can reach the mountaintop by buying as much of this particular thing as possible. And then they changed the rules of the game. And that's a microcosm of how the platform has been run for the last year and a half. When we first joined, there was really no game, right? It was cool moments, cool players. There was a high level of scarcity, actually. And that was what got us really excited. And then they continued to roll a lot of stuff out. Now, mind you, something like 90% or so of the entire supply is on the common tier. Theoretically, that common tier should be worthless, right? You should pull that in a pack. It's worthless. You can throw it in the garbage. You can trade it to put it in your digital scrapbook, whatever. But the focus for real collectors should be on the scarcer stuff. The problem is the way they've built their game, first with collector score, and then it kind of transitioned to TSS, and now it's the flash challenge system, is a lot of those should be and would be worthless moments now have an artificial premium attached to it. If you think about the locker packs, people for the last 6-9 months have literally traded away scarce stuff to accumulate as many what should be worthless common moments as possible so that they could play the trade pack lottery, the trade ticket lottery. All of which is to say, I don't think there is a supply problem except for the fact that they've designed the game to put an artificial premium on the shit that isn't scarce. And as a byproduct of that, they've diluted the perceived value of the shit that is scarce, so nobody wants it because it's not a worthwhile game ticket in the game that they've created. And they keep changing the rules of the game and so on and so forth. That's my take on it. I don't think the common shit should matter. I think everything in life has a lot of the shit at the bottom that nobody really wants, and they're always trying to find the shit that is more scarce. I think there is genuine scarcity at the top levels, but there's no premium put on it because of the weird fucking Frankenstein, weird after-school science experiment game that they've continued to cobble together. That's my take on the issue.
Yes, and I feel that what we must do is we should have different levels of this game.
Isn't that the SoRare frog?
Yes. And this is why we have levels of this game. You have the easy level, the medium level, and the hard level.
Yeah, but it's all got so intertwined, and like the hard level isn't interesting. And
hey, Jay,
I think it's a game design problem. Bottom line, I think it's a game design problem. They don't have a game designer. They don't have a group of people who are designing the game, yet the whole fucking platform is predicated on gamification.
But Jay, let me ask you a couple questions.
All right.
When they first released flash challenges, everybody fucking loved them.
Yes.
Right? And the part of the reason they did it, I'm hoping, if they had a brain, was because everybody wanted action.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do they do now? Do they just stop flash challenges? Because people loved it at first. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, they did love it at first. I think a few things happened. First of all, that the last year's flash challenge product came and went, and then we haven't heard about it since. So people were left to wonder, why did I accumulate all of those flash challenge moments last year? Why did I spend so much time and effort and resources accumulating those 50 or 75, I don't remember what the exact number was, moments, if now they are worthless in the game that I want to play? So I think that's number one. Number two, they've now had to pigeonhole this idea of a burning mechanism into the flash challenges. So now in order to play this game that last year was fun, you have to burn the stuff that you already bought. And presumably you bought it because you like it. And it's just fucking with people's brains. Like, why do I have to throw in the trash the stuff that I bought because I liked it, in some cases because you told me to collect what I love, in order to be able to play the only thing that's fun about the product? That's number 2. Number 3 is, they had the GM and other people out there for months and months and months saying, hey, checkers, not chess. You better lock all your shit up if you want to take advantage of what we're building. So you've got all these people who locked up their entire collections, but there's no locking mechanism afforded to people who want to play the Flash Challenge game this season. So a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. They have their stuff locked. They can't use it in burning challenges. And now they're basically being told, you already have the game piece necessary to play the game today, but you can't use that one because you pushed a button and you locked it. So you actually have to go out and buy more stuff in order to play the game. So that's number 3. Number 4 is there's no rhyme or reason to how the game is being played today. Every single challenge, they're coming up with new criteria, new rules. In the VIP chat, they have this derogatory term. They call it Matt Bingo. Everybody loves Matt. No disrespect to Matt. But most games, they have rules to them. There's logic to them. You can plan for them. Now it feels like just throw a bunch of shit against the wall. And really what they're doing is they're using Flash challenges to reduce supply of very specific moments. So they're putting their finger on the scale way more than they did last year because they have an ulterior motive. They want these Flash challenges to take a certain number of Giannis Commons out of the population. They want Flash challenges to take a certain number of rare Donovan Mitchells out of the population. So they're basically gaming the system. They're doing all the math before they launch each and every challenge, knowing the desired impact and result. And therefore, we're all on a fucking hamster wheel, and people don't like to be taken advantage of. We're the game pieces now, right? Last year, your moments were the game pieces. Now they're playing us, and we're the motherfucking game pieces, and smart people are kind of over it. So those are like the 4 or 5 reasons that I think
are those pillars.
Those are the pillars of why I think what worked really well last year doesn't work anymore. They've changed it. It's not fun anymore. It feels very contrived, and people are feeling manipulated, and nobody wants to play that game when they feel like they're the fucking pawns.
And everything you're saying makes 100% sense, which is why I've pivoted to, I don't view it as financial anymore. Listen, nobody's making money on TopShot. If you say you're making money, you're full of shit or extremely lucky. Don't view it as a financial platform anymore. Don't think about money anymore. Just buy it because you want to collect. That's it. I've sold 75% of my collection. Thank God I freaking did that, or I'd be freaking out. The reason I didn't do it for so long, I was such a true believer in this and that, but I said to myself, what are the reasons you're not selling? Honestly, I did like a deep introspective dive to myself. And I said, well, a lot of it's emotion, that I'm attached to these things. And then a lot of it's ego about these things. I paid this price for it, and I don't know this price for it. And I still have 25% of my collection, but I'm just thinking about it now. If I buy anything, first of all, because you are right, Jay, that they have so many issues and you make sense and they don't at all, I don't want to touch this thing, right? I don't want to touch this thing until I feel like it's bottomed out. So I'm still active in the sense that every time there's a Discord announcement, I check it. I still have my collection. I'm still holding some of it. But I would just advise everybody, because think about it, right? So if you're upset with TopShot, right? How do you initiate change? How do you affect change in TopShot? You got to put yourself in Roham's shoes, right? The person that's in charge.
Those are some expensive shoes.
They're expensive shoes,
have you
right?
Seen his shoes?
So you control Flow blockchain, right? TopShot, I think, is emotional for him. It's personal to him. I don't know. It's all speculation, right? You are still receiving numbers every pack drop. Right? So all the things at our level that we're seeing, community, and this doesn't make sense, at his level, he's still seeing numbers. And a lot of times companies, when they see just bottom line results, they think everything is okay. I don't really need to do too much because everything's working because I'm still getting my revenue. The only time people, and I think this is flawed, but this is how people operate, think there's a problem is when the revenue stops or changes. Okay, now they've seen that in the marketplace. They haven't really seen it so much to a degree in packs. So if you really want to affect, if you love I'm wearing my fucking cool cat sweatshirt, right? If you really love TopShot and you think it's cool, I think moments are cool, right? And I like them. I love the NBA. You stop buying packs, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, PPE makes a good point, which is that there is this case of the larger, broader, macro situation. But the only time I have a problem with this, and although I do think it's legit, but the reason why I sometimes have an issue with this is because there were times when the macro was doing just fine and the NFT world was absolutely mooning, and it was some decisions that were being made that put TopShot in a completely different situation.
Andy, call it what it is. It's a bullshit, lazy trope. It's just not true. When the market was doing swimmingly and everybody was flush with cash, we were on a steady downward decline. This is all due to mismanagement, bad decisions, decisions that in many cases alienated the customer base, made customers feel like they couldn't trust the platform or the product. It's also obviously due to mismanagement of funds. They had how many people working there, and they couldn't get done some of the simplest, seemingly, product advancements and
is he one of us too, guys?
Is he one of us?
Yeah.
No, listen, yeah. I don't agree. I think saying that, the reason that there are certain issues with this product that we all love is due to the macroeconomic climate is the same thing as when people go on Twitter and say the reason TopShot is suffering is because all these angry, mean people on Twitter are saying all these horrible things. It's just lazy. It's
the user's fault.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's part of this broader like woke culture. Like, I'm the bad person. Everything I do must be bad because I'm the center of the universe. So obviously I control everything. So if I'm negative, the whole world is going to be negative as a result. It's just lazy and it's unfounded.
Yeah, I think that there's things that can be done. I mean, people are talking about SoRare. I don't know if SoRare, what the situation with SoRare is actually. I don't know if like the market cap in SoRare is flat or down or what's going on. But it's a good example that SoRare did come onto the scene during this macro disaster with, the economy and the absolute shitter, and they built it in a way that had hype behind it, and had a lot of people joining and talking about it.
Did you see that? Did you see that first video that was put out with Gobert and Jay Williams?
Yeah, I did see it.
That was so professionally done, arguably better than anything TopShot had done, and they had like a 3-year head start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, obviously, being the group that started it, you have to like learn as you go, and then being at a group like SoRare or whatever, or even All Day, you can be like, oh, okay, now I see what they did and what I think doesn't work and what works, and now I'm gonna make my own thing. I mean, granted, SoRare had their soccer product for years, and
it doesn't matter. Soccer fans are different than basketball fans. Look, here's the bottom line: facts matter. 900 or 1,000 people completed the last TopShot Flash Challenge to get 2 really cool moment rewards. I think it cost $20 to $35 to participate in that challenge. Very, very low risk, relatively, experience. 84,862 people participated in the latest SoRare Champion contest. 84,862 people. Okay, in a macroeconomic climate that's horrible, when every NFT project is crashing, when the stock market is crashing, when nobody has any money, everybody's freaked out, everything that the sky is fucking falling, FTX, whatever the fuck you want. 84,862 people competed in the last SoRare NBA challenge, and 1,005 people participated in the last TopShot challenge. I love TopShot. Like, I'm not hating. Like, we're not TopShot haters. I think everybody, hopefully, at this point knows we want what's best for the product, but facts matter. And if we're going to ignore the facts and we're going to say it's because people are angry on Twitter, man, a few people being angry on Twitter, whether they're right or wrong, is irrelevant. That ain't going to cause 84,000 people to want to participate in SoRare and 900 people to want to participate on the thing we love.
And John, you know what? That 7K figure, it's gone up every single week. So it was
Poker
6,
Pro. So does TopShot.
4,000.
Poker Pro. So does TopShot. Stop. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so there's no one debating the fact that the engagement in SoRare is pretty healthy at the moment, and it's at a place where we would love to see it improve and increase on NBA TopShot. So let's see what else we got here. We talked about the Great Burn. We talked about challenges. Jay definitely talked a lot about challenges and leaderboards and how locking your moments and how a lot of people are a little irritated about that at the moment. Do you want to talk at all? Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to ask, what is your opinion on their Thanksgiving week packs? It looks like Throwdown Series 4. Do you have any thoughts on it? And
I mean, I think the plays look great. I mean, the rare moments, it could be a good gamble. I mean, the thing that I would echo from stuff we've already been saying, though, is that it's sort of like gambling on the surface level, while the stuff like the grails and everything else, it's like the NBL argument, all that stuff kind of suffers because it's not the shiny new object. It's very unlikely that the grails or whatever else you're trying to hold long term is going to be able to be used in any kind of a gamification sense. So it's like if you want to be active on TopShot and sort of disregard what effect new packs have on the other stuff that you're holding, then you basically just like trade the surface level stuff. So if that's like the economic and the market side of things. In terms of like the curation and product and beauty side of things, like you were talking about, Ben, I think it's top notch. I think they're crushing it. I mean, that's why it's such a shame that we don't have the 80,000 people that want to get involved like SoRare does, because the TopShot product is way more interesting and engaging, in my opinion, than the SoRare product. I mean, the SoRare product it's a DFS product, but they've done it in a way that they are releasing cool little new features. You can trade your cards. You can get a free card every day. It's this whole like market salary cap thing, and people just have fun with it, even if they're not big DFS people. Like I have fun with it, even though I'm not a big DFS guy. Meanwhile, the stuff on TopShot is way easier to identify with. It's like some of the coolest plays. Like, oh, I remember that Donovan Mitchell dunk. I remember that Jason Tatum dunk. Like I remember all this stuff. It's super cool. Yeah, you know. So anyway, it's kind of a roundabout way of saying that. What do I think about the packs? I think that they are interesting and exciting. I do wish, though, that people couldn't buy 15 at a time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, Jay, what are your thoughts?
I think they're never going to stop pushing out new supply, right? That's their business model. I think we talked last week or maybe the week before. I propose a different business model. I think a lot of their revenue should be subsidized by other big brands that want to leverage the TopShot platform to gain access to a Web3 basketball-loving audience. I think you should have vouchers for Nike sneakers inside of Flash Challenge reward packs, not more dilutive moments. So I just think economically, I don't understand their business model. I don't think it makes sense for them, to continue to suck out mass amounts of liquidity from an already largely illiquid marketplace, from a dwindling number of active users. They're leading to their own decline. So it's chicken or the egg. They need revenue. They have one.
But do you think those people are going anywhere? I mean, at this point, you kind of know what it is, and these people are still here.
I think people are trickling out. I think, their timing was perfect in getting people to lock a large portion of their collections. I'm in the VIP Discord fairly frequently. All these guys seem to be talking about the big guys, like the big heavy hitters who, cumulatively account for, perhaps a majority of overall valuation of the TopShot ecosystem. They're all like, man, as soon as my shit gets unlocked, I'm out. Now, whether that's bravado and pounding their chest or truth, who knows? But yeah, man, like people, they're waiting to find out what is this thing? What is TopShot growing up to be? Or is it just more of the same? So to answer your question, we all know that they're going to continue to sell packs. What the price point is, who knows? What's in the packs, who knows? If they're going to continue to, incentivize people to lock new stuff, and there's just going to be this rolling kind of locking period, who knows? But I think there's way bigger issues kind of at the crux of what is TopShot, what is the experience, what is the game beyond new supply. I'm not as big on the supply problem as much as I am on the lack of a rational user experience around the product. There's really nothing to do with these moments once you get them. I think the product is largely broken. I think the product experience is largely broken. I don't think the biggest problem at this point is the release of new stuff, because they've already told us and kind of foreshadowed, they're going for net neutral. Their plan is to make us burn as much as they release. So far they're asking people to burn a good amount. They've asked people to burn rares. They've asked people to burn a lot of commons. In the NFL all day product, they're now asking people to burn legendaries, as a test, obviously, for some of these contests and challenges. So yeah, the supply thing isn't as much of a concern for me. The sucking liquidity out of the ecosystem every fucking week, that's a huge concern, because at some point there's going to be zero liquidity left.
But let me ask you both a question. Why are people still surprised? Why are they surprised with every pack drop? Why are they surprised with every time Dapper does the same thing that they do over and over again? Why are they surprised every time values go down? Why are they surprised every over mint? Can you guys answer that question? Let's stop being surprised.
Because people are stupid. Because we
still talk about it, though. We still complain about it.
Man, I think it's human psychology, right? Like, because we think that there's a better solution, and because we think we're the center of the universe, we assume that everybody else knows our thinking, and they're going to act on our thinking because we're always right. I just think we're dumb. I just think most of us are just fucking stupid and pathetic, and we expect the same action with a different result. It's not just with TopShot. We're like that in all facets of our lives. People are just pathetic, man. You know that.
Tandy, can you post the last comment up here, please?
Which one are we looking at?
From Will Fitzgerald.
Will Fitzgerald. This one's because we are woke. That I don't really understand. I'm not following this one.
I don't know.
It's funny.
It's funny.
This is why we're doing it, because we're woke. We're woke as fuck.
We're woke. Yeah.
Woke, bro. Especially this stream, we're very woke. Like we're very PC. That means, well, never mind. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Tandy. Just a joke? Will? We don't fucking joke here, bro.
You're on the wrong show, Will.
You're on the wrong show, bro. We don't joke here. You think we joke? We have no sense of humor.
No.
Dumb, bro.
We see everything with our third eye.
He's making fun of Jay for calling people woke. No, he's not. Stop with that.
From woke to broke. That's a good name for the stream.
Great. Yeah.
Why do people keep buying packs? Because they're shiny, beautiful objects, and people like watching the NBA, and they remember these things, and they think that today's their lucky day. And they think today's the day they're going to.
A lucky day for what? A $30 profit? You don't make shit on this stuff anymore.
They're going to get that #1 cereal rare.
There's no market anymore.
Ben, do you know how excited people get on their birthday when Dairy Queen sends them a fucking email and says you're going to get a $2.99 ice cream for free?
Is that when they tweet out, "I'm shaking"?
I'm shaking.
What?
Haven't you seen those? Where something good happens to someone, they're like, "I'm literally shaking."
I love those. I'm literally shaking.
Something so stupid.
Maybe,
I love that.
I don't know. What are you, woke, Ben? Are you woke?
I'm woke as fuck.
Yeah.
I think you're both very woke. But the thing is, though, like you said, Ben, it's not like they're going to stop. They're not going to abandon their main product, which is telling the story of the season via packs.
And what is the story, though? They're not even telling a fucking story. Like, what's the story?
Well, the story, I mean, I would argue that thus far this year, they are telling the story a lot better than they've done previous years. And that's what you opened the show with.
Exactly.
Benjamin.
You said how much you liked how they were telling the story, Ben.
No, I didn't. I said
he didn't say story. He said the
curation.
But that is curation. They're curating moments that matter in the context of the story of basketball.
Maybe I misspoke. The play selection I like, but story of the season. No, TopShot could be a much better product if they actually told the story of the NBA season. And I'm not getting that from the product.
You're not. And I'll go one step further for you. It's so bad that the one time they tried to do it, they telegraphed it so far in advance. They wanted so badly, for whatever reason, to tell the story of Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell meeting up with their new teams, because that was a huge story arc. And they planned it, but they weren't flexible enough to pivot when they found out that Donovan Mitchell wasn't even playing in the game. Right. So that's just horrible execution. They actually tried to tell what they thought was an important, whether you think it's important or not, doesn't matter. Maybe it is important. It's two great players. They had, a falling out. They're on their new squads, first contest against each other. They were giving themselves pats on the back, right? This is amazing. We're telling this amazing basketball story. Everybody needs to know this. That's why it's going to come to life in pack format through these flash challenges. And then Donovan Mitchell sits and they go through with it because they didn't have a fallback. They didn't strategize or plan. Is there another commensurate story that we can tell? But no, like this was a one-time, let's throw some shit against the wall, see if it sticks. It's not part of a broader plan, clearly, because there hasn't been any other commensurate storytelling before or after. There's nobody at the wheel. Who's driving the strategy here? Or is it just a bunch of one-off things to try? I agree with you, Ben. I don't think they're doing a great job of really stringing together this overarching narrative where at the end of the season, if you go back and look at all the moments they minted, it's not going to tell this one kind of cohesive or even a bunch of kind of interconnected storylines. It's just ESPN highlight plays. This guy made a great block. Let's turn it into a moment. This guy made a great dunk. Let's turn. It was in a 30-point loss. Doesn't matter. It's a great dunk, so we're going to put it on there. It seems to be at odds with how they've pitched the product to us over and over again, that it is the narrative of the NBA season. Just because something's an exciting play, if it doesn't actually fit into a broader narrative, why do we need it as part of the overall product? I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, it's. I don't think we have the answer there completely yet. I think that elements of like limiting supply and including less players in the fresh thread set and stuff, to me, that's kind of like telling a better story in a roundabout way. I don't know what telling the best story would even truly look like. I mean, I've had visions of it in the past where it's a more engaging NBA TopShot website that people go to see what's been going on in the NBA and then like correlating that to moments on the website. I still think that wouldn't be that crazy to do, like that difficult to do. I hope that is something that they eventually can do.
I agree.
Can I ask an NBA related question?
Go ahead, Ben.
The good news is, and we're talking about telling stories, is a great transition. The NBA season has been great so far, and there's a lot of surprises going on. And I'm going to read to you the 8 Eastern Conference teams that are currently in the playoffs, and you guys tell me who's out. Okay? Celtics, Bucks.
Wait, who's out from the 8?
Yes. Yes, because there's some teams that are out right now that were in last year. Celtics, Bucks, Hawks, Cavs, Raptors, Pacers, Wizards, Knicks.
Raptors, Pacers.
Okay, so hold on a second. The teams that are not in are the Sixers, Heat, Nets, and Bulls, all of which who made the playoffs last year. The Pacers are 7-6. The Wizards are 8-7. The Knicks are 8-7. The Cavs are 8-6. They were in the play-in, I think, last year.
Knicks are not making the playoffs. I can promise you that. Pacers probably not making the playoffs. Nets will make the playoffs. Heat will make the playoffs.
So who's going out? Pacers and Knicks. That's 2.
Yeah, I'm swapping the 2. Pacers or Wizards and Knicks are out. Nets, Heat are in.
And not the Sixers are going to miss the playoffs.
Sixers are going to make the playoffs. Let's be honest.
Okay, so that means that basically the Pacers, Wizards, Knicks are out, and those
or Toronto. 3 of those 4, obviously.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Interesting.
3 of those 4.
Tandy time.
So it sounds like it's pretty much the same bracket, other than the Bulls, maybe.
Yeah, everybody's fading the Bulls. I mean, they're 6-9, so it's not that far off, but
yeah, it's hard to the same way it's hard to be emotionally disconnected from your moments. It's hard to be emotionally disconnected from the teams that we believe are the teams. And like, even though we have the Wizards and the Knicks playing relatively well, it's still too difficult for us to be like, oh, they'll keep doing this.
Right.
So anyhow.
You got to look at a couple of things. You got to be objective, right? You got to look at roster construction, so like talent, and then like the intangibles, coaching, and all this other kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely that's interesting. Well, let me go to the West.
Wait, while we're on the East.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the Nets game last night by any chance?
I saw they won on a tip-in by Royce O'Neal.
Yeah, but what happened before the tip-in? You guys didn't see any of that?
Well, I saw your boy Ben Simmons had a good game.
You know what? Well, I got to give him credit since I shit on him all the time. He actually played. Like, watching him last night, he wanted to be on the court, which I haven't seen from him since, well, I don't even know when. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was Yuta Watanabe. You guys know about that dude?
Yeah, where's he? Is that the new Linsanity? Where's he from?
He might be. the Nets picked him up, and he's shown glimpses, but for some reason last night he seemed really comfortable. He played really well off KD. Sweet stroke, man. Like every shot he took was butter, and it just looked like it was going in. It did. Tough guy, battles for rebounds, good passer. I think he's going to be a key in my Nets.
Is he better than Curry and Joe Harris? Because that's what I think who he's kind of competing with.
Right now, yeah. Curry does not look good coming back. Joe Harris, I've never been high on Joe Harris. I think he's a very streaky shooter. I think he thinks he's a much better basketball player than he is. I see a lot of, I don't know, when he's on the court, he's tough and he hustles, but he's just not a polished player. He doesn't do anything really well. Everybody thinks he's a really great shooter. He just misses open shots time and time again. He thinks he's something that he's not. What I like about Yuta is he stays in his lane. Like he does what he does, and he doesn't try to do anything else. So yeah, and he's definitely going to steal minutes from both of those dudes.
And Jay, Patty Mills is basically out of the rotation. Sorry, Danny.
Playing like shit, man.
I was just going to tell you that Yuta is very much outperforming his averages at the moment. He's shooting 556, 55% 3-point right now.
Looks amazing.
So it's amazing. I mean, I don't think he can keep that percentage up, but but he is solid.
We're talking about the East. Do you guys? I mean, I have a very strong opinion on this. Do you guys think the Knicks made a good decision to not trade R.J. Barrett and Quentin Grimes for Donovan Mitchell, or do you think that was a bad decision?
No, that was a bad decision.
Then people at the time are like, yeah, we're not trading our young core who has been absolute fucking dog shit for years for a legitimate star, a guy who could be a superstar. We are not doing that. And it was just the most asinine thing I'd ever heard because you like Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett. What is RJ Barrett shooting? Like 40% from the field and like 73% from the line. It's just
RJ Barrett's not that dude.
He's not that dude. It was so weird to me. But we have to get first round picks. Yeah, the guy's a star. Like that's what you do. And because they'd be awesome, and they're not bad. They're 8-7, but they just don't have that much top level talent.
I don't think anybody expected this version of Donovan Mitchell. I don't think anybody expected he'd be out there hitting 7-8 threes in a game, playing this level of defense, this level of toughness. I don't know. Personally, I'm surprised at the Donovan Mitchell we're seeing this year. He's a fucking stud.
Yeah, I think everybody's surprised to a degree. Yeah.
Well, he's crushing it. I mean, he's topping out in minutes played. He's topping out on points per game. He's topping out on 3-point percentage. I'm just looking at his basketball reference page. Like he's crushing it. He's playing like a complete all-star right now. So
like an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he is. So again, another player who probably won't keep it up the whole season. However,
you never know. He
does look like he's put it into a new gear on this new team. I think he was tired of being over there in Utah. So
you guys want to do the West
now? Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's do the West. Trailblazers, the number 1 team in the West. Phoenix Suns, Nuggets, Jazz, 4 seed. Pelicans, Grizzlies, Mavericks, and your Sacramento Kings, number 8. These are the teams that are currently out. Everybody's favorite preseason sleeper, the Clippers, are 9. At a 9-7 record, so the West is very competitive. Timberwolves 10, Thunder 11, and my Golden State Warriors are 12. Now, you got the Spurs at 6-10 at 13, and the Lakers 3-10 at 14.
That is so pitiful. I can't get over the fact that the Lakers are 3-10. I mean, I knew they were going to be bad, but I didn't think they were going to be this bad.
Horribly, horribly constructed team. Horrible.
It's great, isn't it?
It is great. I mean, it's entertaining.
It's not great.
Why? It's awesome.
Because we have 2 or 3 years max left of one of the greatest NBA players of all time.
He did it to himself. He did it to himself.
It's still horrible. I don't care if he did it to himself. It still sucks.
You reap what you sow, my friend. And I like LeBron James. But if you're going to pick and choose every team in every situation, that's what happens, man. You're a player, you know?
No. I think I love Portland. I love Dame coming back. Sharp. Man, that kid
did 20 points last night, Sharp.
Fucking beautiful, beautiful shot. Yeah. I think he's a stud. Simon's obviously a stud. I've always been a big Nurk fan. I think he controls
Jeremy Grant
really well. Jeremy Grant's a fucking beast. Yeah, that team's for real. I think, when everybody had the Clippers up high, everybody thought PG, Kawhi coming back healthy. I think it's clear Kawhi ain't never going to be healthy again. I think that dude is, like he'll come in the lineup, he'll come out of the lineup. I don't think we're ever going to see that Kawhi Leonard again, which is sad But yeah, I think the Clippers are done.
Okay, so what teams go out and what teams go in?
Jazz.
Jazz go out at 10. So they're 10-6.
Yeah, no, they're not keeping that pace up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jazz is out. Who goes in for the Jazz?
I think it's safe to say the Warriors will make the playoffs.
Okay, so the Warriors go in. Anybody else going out? Kings, they're 8th seed.
I think this is the year the Kings make the playoffs.
Yeah, they can hold on to that.
So no Clips, no Timberwolves.
No Timberwolves.
And no Lakers.
They're a mess. No Lakers.
No Lakers. Timberwolves, I feel like the Timberwolves can still figure it out. I feel like it's early. We're seeing some really shitty play on offense, and I feel like it's early though. Like a lot of new blood is in there, and I feel like they need to figure it out. And I think they will. I think they make the playoffs.
Have you guys been looking at all those clips on their chemistry problems?
Yes, with Anthony, just like he's just sitting there waiting for the ball. It never makes its way to him. I mean, it's pretty ugly to watch, but I just think it's still relatively early. I wouldn't give up on the Timberwolves just yet with like such a young star.
I would.
I don't think so.
What do you mean? What would you do, Jay? What are you trying to say?
I would give up on them. I just think it's ugly.
Oh, give up on the team.
Yeah, it's ugly. It doesn't work. I know it's so early in the season, and when LeBron and Dwayne Wade came together, it was ugly for a while, right? Like they didn't know who was the alpha, who's supposed to have the ball in their hands, who's supposed to take the important shots. But I don't know. It doesn't look like it fits, and they've got incredible talent, but it ain't working.
Yeah. Now remember, and it's not so much of a commentary on the Timberwolves as it is somebody has to get out for them to get in, and I think that's the most difficult part.
Well, I mean, you could easily see Sack getting out, right? Like that should be a dog fight.
Sack and the Jazz, I think, are your two teams.
Jazz are out. Jazz ain't making the play.
Well, I think they're only out because at some point, I think they make a trade to tank.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Kings, huh? So are they for real?
They're for real. They've got real talent. They've got some chemistry. I love what Fox is doing. So, yeah, I think they're for real. John, the Jazz are not making the playoffs.
Well, it'll be really interesting. I mean, if the Clippers can't make it into the playoffs, that'll be one of the biggest whiffs of people predicting on the season. Imagine if the Sixers and the Clippers both miss.
Hey, how much heat did I take when I came on here the other week and I was ripping on Kawhi? Took a lot of heat.
You took a lot of heat.
Took a lot of heat. Not afraid of heat though, guys.
You're not.
Afraid of heat.
No, you like the
not
heat.
afraid of the heat.
I love the heat.
Yeah.
Tapped in.
Tapped in. You're tapped into that heat. Let's see. What else? Anything else you guys want to chat about?
I think I might have mentioned it earlier. Evaluate Market came out with this really cool trading feature.
Right,
like
when we're in the back room with PPE.
XYZ. Yeah, forget about the backroom bullshit. On the real, it's actually a really cool product. So basically anything in your Dapper wallet, you can trade. So I actually did a trade yesterday. I traded one of my flunks for a bunch of like floor TopShot moments that I needed for different purposes. I traded some of my floor all day moments, which I don't care about. I don't care about football for some TopShot stuff. So anything in your Dapper wallet, you can trade. It's the first feature of its kind. We haven't been able to do that before. It's safe. It's very easy. It took like 60 seconds for these trades to go through. It's kind of like this roulette speed dating kind of situation where you log into the platform, it randomly assigns you anybody, queues you up. You can kind of chat with them. The chat feature is super smooth, frictionless, and it's still in beta. So they're going to continue to expand and evolve the product. I think it's one of the best third-party products I've seen yet that somebody has built on top of the Dapper Sports ecosystem. So shout out, Evaluate Market, Jen Sudo. I know we're all big fans.
Woof! I'm a huge fan.
I know you are of Jen Sudo. She's part of that team. I did a trade with Jen Sudo. I met Jen in the Evaluate.
Is this the same room as you were in with PPE?
Well, thankfully, we were not in at the same time. It was just me and Jen. PPE did not come in until a couple days later. And to be honest with you, I haven't had anybody in since. I have to. I got to use some cleaning products to get all that stuff out of there.
How do you talk? What the fuck are you talking about right now?
What a weirdo! That sounds
just
like
his essence. He was there in the room.
Who was there? Was he there?
Rowdy Rod is asking what we're drinking. Jay's not much of a drinker. And Tandy, huh?
How do you know this?
You told me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm a good listener, Jay.
High quality H2O.
It's just like I don't drink like I used to drink. I can still have.
You told me I don't really drink.
I'll have like a nice a glass of wine or.
That's not really drinking. Bourbon. When people say, "What are we drinking?" That means like let's get drunk.
Sipping something, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick answer to this question is you're 12-3 Boston Celtics, baby.
That's what we
number 1 seed.
They are
Boston
not the best team in basketball.
Celtics.
No.
They are, statistically speaking.
Who cares about statistically?
Well, then what are we basing it on?
Ooh.
Our bungholes? All right, sure. The Nets are the best team in the league.
No, the Nets are most definitely not the best team in anything.
I like the Celtics this year. I didn't last year.
I don't
like them this year.
It's incredible what they've been able to do after all. I didn't think they would be doing this after what happened with the perverted coach, Ime Udoka. Like it just seemed like the chemistry.
You thought the perverted coach was going to prevent them from playing good basketball?
Wait, why is he perverted?
Well, that's kind of what we're saying. Okay, listen.
Because he had sex, Ben.
I'm woke.
Tandy's married. He doesn't believe in having sex.
He had what? Don't say that word. Makes me uncomfortable.
Sorry.
He had sexual relations. Anyway, we already went over that, but no, I thought that it would be because it was very like there was terrible communication among players and coach, and these players felt all weirded out, and it just felt like the chemistry was going to be off. Like I thought that they'd get it together maybe midway to later in the season. Instead, they come out guns a-blazing with Jason Tatum looking like the league MVP at the current moment, and that is what surprised me a lot.
Now, here is the test of the Celtics. Best team so far in the regular season. When you have a brand new coach, especially a young coach, where that really gets tested is the playoffs because it's really a chess match in a 7-game series with another coach. So Mazzulla, is that how you say his name?
I think it's Mazzulla.
Yeah, Mazzulla, Joe Mazzulla, because we have Hanukkah coming up.
It's Mazzulla, right?
It is Mazzulla, yeah.
Isn't the Mazzulla by the door? I like how this just becomes the Jew stream every single time.
What can you? Put the three of us together. What are you going to get? But listen, I'm telling you that when it comes to playoff, it's a great story. They're playing really well. I think I would just feel come playoff time much better about their chances with the sex offender in charge.
That's a fair point.
Is that your Jew guy?
Yeah, we've gotten to that part of the stream.
I know a ton of Jews. None of them look like that.
I've never seen a human look like that.
This is my very swaggy Israeli. Look at my necklace. What does that even say?
Is Noam here? Noam. Do you know any Israelis that look like that?
No.
Yeah, that's true. We have a real Israeli in the chat. Noam, please confirm or deny that you have any friends that look like this. But anyhow,
did Noam finish like number 2 or number 3 in SoRare recently? I remember.
Did he? I think he did. He crushes
really high.
Noam is like a SoRare savant.
Yes.
Fucking make some lineups for me, bro. I suck at that shit.
He doesn't have any friends that look like this. Oh man.
No, nobody does.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take that off.
I mean, you kind of have like a Richard Dreyfuss thing going on, if I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
You're thinking about like old Jews, like 1980s Jewish people.
Number 13. No, go for it, man. That's what's up.
Yeah. Noam's crushing it on SoRare. This PPE being inappropriate. It's 50% of all Israelis. What were you asking before that, Ben? No, I forgot.
We were talking about Mazzulla and how it's great regular season story. But when you get in the playoffs, I think that's part of the reason the Celtics didn't have an advantage against the Warriors because Kerr was just a more experienced coach. And I think that's going to be more exacerbated when he goes to the playoffs.
I would disagree.
Experience doesn't matter in the playoffs?
No, it does. But I think that Udoka is an excellent coach. I think that's why Nets wanted to hire him.
But I'm talking about Mazzulla.
I know, but Mazzulla, he wasn't the coach versus the Warriors. And I think Udoka is was a great coach for the Celtics. And the reason why the Celtics lost to the Warriors, and I've said this in the past, was I just thought the Warriors had more of a cakewalk to the finals. The Celtics got there via like a 12-round brutal drag down battles versus the Bucks and the Heat. And then they get there all bloody and beaten up to the Warriors, and the Warriors are like, all right, let's do it. We've been here before. And they just
I mean, I would agree with you if it was a closer series. But the Warriors ripped off like 4 straight wins, didn't they? They won 4, 5, and 6. They ripped off 3 straight.
Exactly, because the Celtics got there and their power bar was like
what though? Udoka played a very strange defense on Curry. He was like the only coach the whole year to be like, let's let Curry beat us. When like every other coach was like, okay, we can't let Curry beat us. It was very strange.
Right.
Anyway, that's litigating the past. We don't want to. I don't want to get away.
Weisberg doesn't like talking about mezuzahs. He's saying it's not mezuzah.
Shocking.
Well, he's about to go. He's going to go hang out with Kyrie later, so we're not.
Another self-loather.
Yeah. I think part of
it's the community's fault.
Part of Kyrie's list of things that he has to do is actually have a Zoom call with Weisberg. By the way, you just said community. Well, let's give a little community.
Oh. We love the community.
So PPE's got a thing for the judge. Is that?
Just ignore it.
Okay.
Just move on to the next topic.
Jay, just because he ignored you the other day in your DM.
No, it's just no need to go there.
I actually opened Evaluate XYZ. I had a trading partner come in, and it was like, hi. And it almost felt like the old AOL Instant Messenger days where you go to the chat room.
Yeah.
And you go like age, sex, language or something, right? ASL.
But here's the problem. You can't share pictures or videos in the Evaluate chat. I tried.
You tried. Yeah. I mean, that's probably a good thing that you can't share, because I just know some creeps.
Yeah,
do
you're
some
talking
terrible
to two of them.
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, you guys know about what is that? It's a Dapper product.
I like this idea.
Tapped in. That would be dope. That would be so dope. No, see if you can put something together for us. I'll talk to Roham. Maybe he'll respond to me on this one. He responds to me on like 10% of the topics that I reach out to him about. Maybe this will be the one.
That's not a bad hit rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respond to him on 100% of the topics he reaches out to.
All right, so here's how we'll close out. The hot packs are coming Thanksgiving Day. Are you guys going to be buying hot packs to open with your loved family?
Jason?
Ben, you go first.
I'm once again going to reiterate my Top Shot strategy. I'm not spending a dime of my money on Dapper until they fix their shit. The only time I will ever do that is if it gets so fucking bad that the prices are so dirt cheap that I think I can buy at a very, very low price, and that will be good long term. And I'm talking about January 2021 prices when debuts were like 30 or 60 bucks of superstars.
Well, hopefully we don't get to that point. So it sounds like you're not buying packs. And Jay, you bought 2 packs last time. How did those packs go, by the way?
Garbage. So listen, man, I'm going to be with my family, right? On Thanksgiving. Yeah. Right. So like having something else to look forward to. No, I'm a gambler, man. Like I like a gamble.
But it's not even a gamble. Best case, like you said, you got a point about the $2.99 Dairy Queen thing. But like the money, that doesn't even get me like a little bit hard. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna win $30.
Listen, I will settle for barely a little bit hard at this point.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm very realistic in life, in Top Shot, in everything. I'm not expecting the unexpected. A tiny, tiny, tiny bit hard is fine for me. Like I'll take it, you know. But no, there is the opportunity to, you know, you put in $10, you get out $50. I don't know. It feels like a win. It's not about the money, right? Like that's the thing, Ben. Like it's not really about the money. It's about the chase. It's about just trying to one up. It's almost like a game that we play with ourselves. It's just basic human psychology. We need a rush. We need adrenaline. There's that tiny, tiny. Listen, man, you can get a number 1 cereal. You can get a jersey number. I've never gotten either. As many packs as I've opened, as many moments as I've bought, I've never gotten any of that stuff. So the only way to do it is to try.
I'd like also to take this opportunity to pontificate on the value of money.
Okay.
Because during that, I'm being quite serious. During the bull market, money was flying around, not just Top Shot, but if you got other NFTs, it was flying around that it was almost like play money. And so I think the value of money was kind of skewed. Now in the bull market, right, where you get a bit of a different perspective on things, and granted, it is the bull, so you're going to have that point of view. I'm looking at, even if it's $10, this hot pack or whatever it is, $50 on a moment, because I'm seeing a lot of people spend a lot of money on these moments.
Yeah.
What else could I do with this $20?
We know what else you're going to do. It's called a hooker in Santa Monica. But here's the thing.
Is there
you
that
know
cheap?
Exactly what you're going to – you know better than I do. You know exactly what you're –
They're not that cheap. But for real, but for that amount of money that you're spending, not sure about that one. I just feel like I can spend my money. What is this? Either on something else or save it for a more appropriate and more pleasurable experience for myself.
And that's totally fair. I think that's the mature way to look at it.
Which is surprising for me.
It's
or hookers, Jay. Or hookers. So we go back to hookers in Santa Monica.
Yeah, or like a massage shop, like where it's not like necessarily a hooker, but it's like you never know what you're actually going to get. You go in for a massage.
Is there some like universal code, like to initiate that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Am I going like?
No, I can't say.
Do I get my wallet out? Like, what's the deal?
There's a few cues. Let's take it to the DMs.
Tandy, do you know what we're talking about?
Candy.
Would you please shut the hell up?
Yeah. Hand jobs, I suppose. Anyway.
You're sick. You are sick, sir.
All right. So Jay's getting a couple packs for himself because he just loves packs.
Because I can't help myself.
Will I buy packs? I don't know. I didn't buy packs the last time. I mean, maybe I'd buy one or two. That's what I said the last time too. Maybe. I'm not super psyched about it. I do want that. I do like any Tatum rare, even though there's already a bunch on the platform. But also to answer your question, Ben, what do I like to drink? I'm not a big drinker either. I like a sour beer though. If you ever had sour beers, I like that. I like some session IPAs. That's another beer I like. And
so when's the last time you got absolutely wrecked? Was it when you were hanging out with Weisberg?
I mean, I've never hung out with Weisberg in person, but if I did, I'm sure that would be part of like the list of things you have to do is get wrecked.
No, when's the last time you got like drunk?
It's been a while. I don't like getting super drunk because
like months,
years probably.
Years.
Yeah.
All right. So if we all get together at a TopShot event, we were gonna have to get wasted. Is that a deal, Jay?
I guess, but then I'm gonna be up all night pissing. I'm gonna like.
What are you like a 60-year-old man? It's one night.
You're right. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
He's worried about being up all night pissing.
Not just up all night pissing. Then you feel like shit for like 3 days.
Yes, it sucks. That's why I don't do it that much anymore. But I'm saying if we somehow get all together at a TopShot event, the tour up my crack, then we'll fucking do it.
Yeah, we'll drink. I don't know if I'll get absolutely rip roaring wasted.
No, we're getting wasted.
Shoes, but
where's Cam? Is Cam still here?
I don't know. Is he? I'm not sure.
Here?
Yeah,
he was earlier. He said, "Don't steal my pillars. We need to buy some land. We'll get drunk and buy land."
Yeah, we'll get drunk and buy land. I like that. All right. Well, I think that'll do it, guys. Hopefully this was valuable to those listening. I know that Zakarian is about to stream, so you can go pop over there if you want to learn about. I don't know what they're talking about. All day.
Jay, did you get on Mike's show yet?
I think I'm going on next Tuesday. I think he said.
Okay, represent us well, brother.
I will. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with Mike. It's been too long. I think he and I see the world in very similar ways.
Yeah. All right.
He's a good guy. I mean, the work he does for SoRare, it's incredible.
SoRare Zakarian.
SoRare Zakarian. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been fun.
It's been something.
All right. I mean, it's only 90 minutes. I mean,
yeah, that's good.
Goes by
I think that's
fast.
Good.
Yeah,
it's a tight 90.
Really,
shout out Jack Daniels.
Really tight, Tandy. We're super tight.
Shout out Jack. What is that? Jack Daniels Apple?
Yeah. I used to work for Jack. Jack was one of my clients back in the day, so got some fun stuff from them.
I've never heard of apple flavored Jack Daniels.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I bet it doesn't taste very good.
But
anyhow,
very good, no.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, and have a nice weekend.
TopShot Nation, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. What is up, TopShot Nation? Have a good weekend, TopShot Nation, and we'll talk again soon. See ya.
Bye, Treat a Kiss.
Bye, everybody.
Static Selector.